More serious accidents, that's what's the odds.
Drivers' meeting of today, we agreed to form the Grand Prix Driver Association.
Because of the palm oil, not carotene. I use more carotene and the older one in the house.
It may have
no, it's not orange like.
To focus a lot on what could be done, because the drivers clearly were organising themselves into a body to express their views.
And hopefully we can contribute to as the statement said,
move the barrier back. And the old, I was in contention for the championship.
Relief and release for you must be enormous. You lost your great team leader, and now you've got someone to help you in the team. Do you feel better about things in general?
Pleasure back into what we're doing, and so this, this win is important as much for the team as it is for Ayrton and his fans. And Damon Hill only has to keep going to be world.
And it wasn't to be.
For me, it was always clear that I'm not going to win the championship, and it's Ayrton who give it to him because he is the driver who should have earned it. He had the best car.
It was great to be in a team with Ayrton. I got an opportunity to be close to him.
It's interesting to see his character, really, from being in the race car to someone who was quite ruthless.
Yes.
Put his helmet off.
Yeah.
And
difficult to equate the two personalities. The racing a ruthless person, but in order to win, you had to be.
Yeah.
Going back to the circuit 20 years later, I think so much time has passed. I think a lot of emotions have diluted, but that's not to say that we've lost any kind of feeling for what happened. It was tremendously
and feelings that kind of went on there. But just thinking about it, being here in this very spot, definitely starts. The whole weekend was really bad. But for us, we lost a teammate, we lost a pal. And Formula One paddock lost.
I'm
convinced that Ayrton was completely handling the car, that he was with him actually on race day. And he was having a conversation and he reassured us. He said that Damon will be okay because the Williams is a good car. And that certainly was.
And measured myself, and that would have been a challenge which I would have relished and would have learned a hell of a lot from. So to have not had that is that because I didn't get that chance, I was handed an opportunity to be in contention for the World Championship instead, and it put me in the limelight, put me in the position of...
In 2024, introducing Sky Sports Plus, serving up brand new live streams and a dedicated channel. Watch Gloria Belton cover 20 times. And every your chance won't just more than ever before.
Rate because they've got very little experience really heading out onto a damp track. At least there's some good dry running this morning.
Well, truly, FP3 was really their only session. I would say that it was equal grounds for everyone. It was maybe like we're going to see in qualifying all day yesterday, which is changing conditions. So we saw the track drive very quickly online. So obviously it's going to make it all very interesting, and it's going to be who's the last one to cross the line. That's usually going to be the fastest car then.
Jack, having won a world championship yourself back in 1997, we can all go back to Jerez in most controversial of circumstances. I just wonder what you think of what lessons you've taken from that perhaps you could apply to this year's championship with a shout, do you think? McLaren riding with a shout.
Yes, they are, although they were really disappointingly slow this morning, and they seem to not understand why. But they are, because beast that they used to be. But McLaren is surprisingly the one that's really hot. So we have a 3-4-way battle now for race wins, podiums. With so many races still to go, it could be race one of the season right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Lewis is pretty much specialist everywhere in his career, isn't he? But particularly always got well here. My experience of racing here in Formula 1 is the corners are so similar. They open a little bit on the exit, and it's about good braking, a relatively tight corner, and then tremendous track.
Was much more aggressive with the steering, and the rear just couldn't keep up.
Well, I suppose if you are readers into the body language of
you to push the limits when it's constantly changing lap after lap, and I did, to be honest. So I think we're in a good place if the conditions continue tomorrow. If it's fully dry, honestly, we have no idea. But as I said, first view is
second. Kept telling the guys, I was like, just get out. So I was rushing my guys. Right, let's go. Just to maximize.
Into the popular contest, and watch this, he's shaking his phone like the awards now. He's shaking it, she's shaking it, they're all shaking it. Play the free Coral Rewards Shaker to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers.
Coral. Smash them.
There was a city to wake up to. World War II was full of stories of courage and resilience. Discover the ones that shaped your family history with Ancestry.
I came along, I wrote a song for you.
Welcome back as we arrived here in Canada on the Tuesday of this week. It was announced that Sergio Perez will be staying at Red Bull until 2026, end of that season. Obviously delighted for him, and this is what he had to say to Rachel Brooks.
It's because you're happy with it, you believe in the project, you're happy with the working environment, and it was a very clear decision from my side because I really enjoy the challenge that I face at Red Bull. It's a challenge like no other team.
It surprised most of us in F1, however it was in the season. Did it surprise you?
Ivana was a little bit tricky from our side, but I really believe that we understand a lot of the reasons. We're working on them. So there will be tracks where obviously some other teams will be stronger than us, but at the end of the day, it's a great challenge, and it will only matter where we finish in Abu Dhabi.
And the team side of things, I mean, Helmut's made comments in the past. How's your relationship with Helmut in the team?
It's very good. I have a great relationship with Helmut since I joined the team until now. You sometimes always get to see two different Helmuts. One that gets to speak to the media, and another one that
Joe.
The only one the team could make. He's been with the team for a long time. They've had a chaotic winter. They needed to rebalance. They put their feet on the ground, keep Max happy to make sure that he stays, that the team can start working in the right direction again. He's there because he was already there. Had he been in the B team, Bull Racing, thank you, he wouldn't have been moved.
But let's not forget that, yes, Adrian Newey is leaving. Maybe there'll be some others, but it's been said that he's a really good mentor, and the engineers there have learned. They have a lot of knowledge that has come from that, and that they're going to be able to hold the torch just fine.
bring them forward for the future. But it's the primary team. They've really got RB for that. So and the other drivers on the grid as well, that seat's no longer available.
I just wonder though if we're getting indications of the pieces starting to fall down in the contract for.
We don't know much about contracts. Mercedes is not really an open door.
Or even less.
It's Antonelli's team.
Somebody that was man.
He was right. That Tony was 12. He knew that he was a future champion.
Okay, let's move on to the problems perhaps that they've had on track with you. Well, they have definitely, haven't they? It wasn't so good in Monaco and in Miami. It's attempt to explain what's been happening.
There's nothing to really worry about if you're Max Verstappen at the moment, is there? Right? I mean, Monaco and Miami, they were just a blip, weren't they? He still won 5 Grand Prix this season, odds on to win the championship. He's won 2 sprint races as well. In fact, he's only won 1 out of the last 3 races. It's okay, isn't it?
I wouldn't call it a blip. We knew that was not going to be a good track for us, just with the limitations that we have at the moment with the car over curves and bumps. We have to just work step by step to solve it, but it's not something that we can fix in 1 or 2 weeks. But at least it's a clear direction that we are pushing into. And I'm sure that if we say not necessarily solve it, but make it better, we unlock a lot more like.
So with that lap time expected to be to Catalonia next time round in Spain, and a week after that in Austria, the remaining question is, how quick will the RB20 be this weekend? Wet conditions and a smoky failure in the energy recovery system have offered few answers so far. It's especially curious as Red Bull's suspension system has worked well for them over the last few seasons. On the rear, the torsion bars, effectively a very short, thick spring, are twisted by rockers, and there are 2 dampers that act to resist up and down forces, and Bull recently dominated with one.
Jumping on bumps or curves, you don't have grip because the wheels are in the air, right? And that's basically where
used a couple of races ago in Imola have actually made the car less stable, more skittish, but a smoother ride.
And Christian Horner joins us now. We're looking into explanations about the struggles of the RB20 versus the dominance of the
progress. Mercedes as well, looking quick here this weekend. So we've got some issues that we know that we need to work on. There's some tracks that have really suited us. Hence, what have we had? 4 wins so far this year. So
Well, it seems to be a very peaky car. The window of operation was tiny and right-eyed, so you have to run it stiff.
Yeah.
Is that what's creating a problem with the drivers, to find that sweet spot?
I think that they've been struggling with curb ride and striking the curves hard. And I think we had that probably in last year's car as well. I think it's improved slightly with this year's car, but all the cars are going quicker, and so we're pushing the aerodynamics harder, and therefore the cars are running really stiff, and you can see how violent it is when they hit the curbs and really attack curves.
And so that seems to be apparent. So it must be difficult for the drivers.
It's something that we're working on. It's something that there's a lot of a lot of projects going on back in the factory, back in the UK. But we know that there's performance there that will be unlocked if we can get on top of those curb riding. And
that's scary to hear. There's performance to be unlocked.
Sure there is. I mean.